What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the THAI Lyfe Channel. My name is Min, and in this video I will be doing coffin shaped nails using square curve tips, and we're gonna do a couple acrylic applications, and we're gonna end it with some beautiful Frenchies. And as you always know, we always gonna be sharing some live experience about the nail industry to help one another out. So when it comes to getting the shape right, you gotta apply the tips correctly. There's no way in hell you want to apply the tips crooked. That does not make any sense. Now, when you are applying tips, it can be nerve-wracking because one wrong move, that tip can go sideways, and we don't want that to happen. So, let me show you how to do it. I always make sure that when I put the glue, you have two ways you can put the glue. Some people you will see it put on the nails. Some people they put on the tips. I like to put on the tips. I put it right on the edge of the tips where I'm going to apply the tips. Now, if you look at any type of nail tips, there's always that outline, okay? That nice little dent inside the tips. That is where you lay the nails onto the tips, okay? Some people have this perception where when you are laying the tips, you lay the tips all the way close to the cuticle, or you just lay a little bit thin on the edge. You don't want to do none of that. You want to lay it perfectly exactly where they have that indent on the tips. Okay? So that's just part of gluing the tips down. So now you're looking at how to lay the tips on perfectly without making a mistake. So when I am applying tips onto the nail, I am looking at the hand of the clients. I am absorbing their knuckles, all the other joints, and I'm going to make sure that I see a whole scope of her hand. So by looking at the whole hand, I'm able to spot out which finger is crooked and which finger is not. So once you spot out the crooked finger, the first thing you want to do is let the clients know that they have a crooked finger. Because if you apply tips and you notice a crooked finger and you try to readjust it and you don't let them know, they thinking that you gotta make it more crooked, and a lot of clients will be in denial of the fact that their finger is crooked. So you just have to make sure you point it out. So once you point it out, she comes to an agreement that her finger is crooked. Let's go ahead and apply the tips. So when I apply the tips, I always make sure I measure the tip size really well with the nails, and I'm gonna go ahead and lay it all the way down to the tips. Now, what if I lay it crooked? So when you lay the tips down, the glue is going to spread out onto the nail. When it is spreading, you have at least 4 seconds to readjust your tips to make sure it is even and not crooked. So that's how you're going to do it. Now, another trick that you can see me do is that I will bring the tip all the way to the knuckle and run it all the way down to make sure it is perfectly perfect. So now it's cutting onto the tips. So cutting the length of the tips is probably one of the most important things. The client's got to have a hard time making that decision. You will get clients sitting there contemplating the length that they want, okay? Me, as a nail technician, whatever length they want, I usually like to cut them a little bit longer than they pick. Because as a nail technician, we all know we have to go through the files. You know, you have to take down some acrylic, and that can damage the length. So the best way is just do it a little bit longer than what the clients ask for, and then you go on. Now, to make sure all the tips and fingers are even, you have to look at the way you measure the tips. So, the first hand that I cut, I always make sure the tips is exactly perfect on each fingers. The second hand, I'm just going to go ahead and guess it. Once I finish guessing, I bring the two fingers together, index to index, ring to ring, middle to middle, and I put it together. Whichever nail that is sticking out, that's the nail that I'm going to cut. So that's how you're going to make all the nails and the fingers even with the same length. Okay, so measuring each finger the same and cut the longer one that is sticking out, and you will have every single finger looking the same. But again, that's going to change. So now let's get into the coffin shape. After you got the length down, so coffin shape is really easy. When you are using a square curve tips, the square curve tip has a curve on it. And you all know coffin shape, you're supposed to have a straight tip. So what I'm going to do with the scissor is I'm going to go ahead and cut the side of the curved tip so that I can make the tip straight. So once I cut the side wall, the tips is semi-straight. It's not perfectly straight yet. This is why I'm going to go in with the hand file. When I am going in with the hand file, I am focusing on creating the coffin shape. I am focused on creating the side to be nice and straight and not curved, okay? The reason why I am teaching you how to do this in square curve tips, because square curve tip is the #1 most common used tips in the nail industry. I don't care if they make coffin shape tip, ballerina tip, stiletto tips. But what I do know, if you go into a salon, you ask for a set of nails, you ask for a certain shape, more likely you're going to get a square curve tips. So if you are as a nail tech, you want to make sure that you know how to shape any type of shape using any type of tips. That's what made you a badass artist. And I want you to be a badass artist. Ain't that no lie right there. So now, as I am cleaning and filing the shape, right, I am not just filing the shape into a coffin. I am looking at her fingers, her knuckles, her joint. As I am filing, I have to absorb the whole hand and really look at how I am filing the shape, okay? Every coffin that you do is going to be different on each certain type of nails and size of the fingernails, okay? If you are doing the same type of coffin on every single client that's walking in, I guarantee you that client's nail is not going to look good, because every single nails are different. And you want to make sure that you're able to shape exactly what the hand gives you. Client's going to be coming in with some big ass knuckle hand. They're going to come in with some tiny little nail beds. They're going to come in with nails looking like a roller coaster. They got all kind of nails, y'all. So you got to make sure that you are shaping based on the nails that you're getting. Because I see a lot of nail tech out there, they be shaping the nails using the same concept on every single client, and the coffin comes out looking all bubbly. The goal of a coffin is creating a nice straight tip. As you guys can see me filing, I am just kind of like rolling it down a little bit, filing, taking my time. The reason why I'm taking my time doing this part is because I don't want to shift the shape too much on a certain size. So what I do know is that when you are filing the shape right now before the acrylic application, high chance you can shift the shape very fast because you didn't have any acrylic on the nails. The tip can be very fragile. If you file too hard, you can actually file off the whole tip. I have seen nail tech in the middle of filing, and all of a sudden the fake nail just pops off. There we go, and you have to reglue a new one. Okay, so prevent yourself from doing that. Just take your time, get the shape right. The main thing when you guys are shaping, like I say earlier, you got to recognize all type of fingers and hands coming at you. Clients going to be coming in with some crazy ass hand. You will get clients with some arthritis hand. Like I said, you will have clients that will always, eat up in their fingers. You have clients who just bite their nails. You got clients with dry cuticles. There's all kind of things, and you just, as a nail tech, you just gotta be like the solution for it, okay? So after I do the shaping everything, I'm satisfied. And a lot of times the coffin that I shape, yes, it is coffin, but sometimes it looks like taper square. It's like in the between, because this length right here that I'm doing is not long. So because it's not long, it's gonna look kind of like taper, semi coffin shape. So after I finish that, I'm gonna go ahead and smooth down the surface of the nails after I apply the tips. Every time you guys are applying tips on, make sure you guys take the time to smooth out the edge of the tips, because sometimes the edge of the tips can be a little bit thick, and when you apply it on the nails, there's going to be a big dent, and you don't want that dent, because when you do the acrylic application, the dent, it takes more acrylic just to like really fill it up. Okay, so all of this we're doing is all about shaping. Even when it comes down to acrylic application, when you are doing acrylic application, your goal is not to have so many acrylic dripping all over the nails, all over the cuticles, so that you don't ruin the shape that you just did before the acrylic application. And that's why when you're doing acrylic application, you got to make sure you pick up a perfect bead. You got to make sure the consistency of the acrylic fills up the nails perfectly, including the apex. That's what the goal is when it comes to acrylic application, and without ruining the shape. But is it really true that the shape won't be ruined? The shape's going to be ruined a little bit, because once you apply the acrylic on, the acrylic's going to create a thickness on top of the nails. Because when you had the tips, it looks really clean, but once you add something more dense, the cleanliness just kind of fade away a little bit. So what you have to do is you got to go in with the file again. But the good news is that you ready to do the pre-filing. So because you did the pre-filing, you don't have to file too much after the acrylic application. So now that is why it's important that we also apply the acrylic perfectly, so that we don't take too much time. Because everything I do in a set of nails, I got to do things efficiently. Okay, I am planning in my head. I am contemplating how I'm going to execute the upcoming design, upcoming step. All of that's running through my head. Why I am having a conversation with the clients, why I am trying to focus on the acrylic. Yes, we do think a lot as a nail technician. And that's the crazy part, is that when people think us nail tech, when we do nails, they thinking it's just a process. But a lot of people don't realize that inside our head, our brain is like couple step planning ahead how we going to execute the nail 100%. You can ask any nail tech out there. They might be talking to you about relationship. They might be talking about life. But inside their head, they are planning on the next step of the nail execution that they are working on right now. I can guarantee you that, because if the nail tech is not doing that, then that nail tech is just doing the simple set where it's a one color kind of set where you don't have to think too much. But if you are doing something like extravagant, artistic, high chance you got to plan, y'all. Because if you don't plan, you're going to slow down. You're going to waste a lot of time. And if you're trying to plan during the process, that's a hot mess. And we don't even want to get to that hot mess. I'm just speaking facts, because if I want to work at something, I want to make it look easy. But that's the problem. When you make things look too easy, the clients don't want to pay for it. I don't know, understand. Like when things when I make things look easy, I thought the client should be more happy. That'd be like, oh my God, he is so skillful. That's why he makes things look easy. But instead, if us nail tech make things look too easy, they want it for cheap, because they thinking, oh, you make it look so easy, I can do that. No, it only looks easy to the client's eye when we doing these kind of stuff is because we do so many nights and days and months and years. That's why we make it look easy. But deep down inside, we are planning, we are strategizing, we are thinking about our next steps, how we can execute the nail in our head without letting the clients know. So I just hope one of these days the clients don't feel like this is an easy job, nail is easy to do. And you know what's crazy? I'm proud of people who always say they can do nail at home. Go ahead, but it's not about doing nails at home. It's about going to the salon and getting yourself pampered. You know, anybody can do stuff at home. Shoot, I can go and have somebody give me a massage at home, but it's not the same versus when you go get yourself a massage. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, all of this kind of stuff right here is a luxurious thing, y'all. You know what I mean? I just can't stand when people always talking about like, oh, I can do this myself at home. Anybody can do that at home, but it's not the same. You ever give yourself a foot massage? It's not the same unless somebody give you the foot massage. It's always feel better when somebody's doing, because you know why? Because you ain't got to do it. That's the reason why, y'all. Okay? So, you know, I just hope that y'all, you know, love this, what y'all hearing so far, and give me like a thumbs up right now, or give me a subscription, and make sure you share this video, because I'm telling y'all, when you learn about the shaping concept and how you can apply the acrylic, trust me, your job only get easy, because I'm here to share with you my life story, my experience, so that we can all grow together. So now, after I do the acrylic application, right, you can tell the shape kind of look more like a square. So when it is square like that, it's kind of hard for me to really, like, you know, tell the client this is Coffin. So don't worry about it. After the acrylic's done, I'm going to go ahead and work on the other fingers and all that. I'm going to go in with the files, okay? Now, when you guys are filing the nails, let me tell y'all how to file, because I know a lot of clients have told me that they get cut on the side of the cuticles, and that's very painful. And let's prevent all of that from happening. The first thing you have to do is look how I'm holding the client's hand. I am resting the client's hand right on my hand. I am using my thumb, I am using my ring finger to really hold down the side cuticle skin on her nails. By doing that, I am preventing the file from getting cut into the nails. That's what I am doing, okay? Now, as I am holding her finger, I am also using her finger to move left, right as I'm filing. I am not moving too much of my body. It's all about technique, how you hold the client's hand so that the client's able to relax on your hand so that you can move left to right, right to left as you wish, okay? So during this filing part right here, just want to keep in mind, if you guys are filing on the tip of the fingernails, if you guys are making sure you guys are filing hard, let me tell you a tip, okay? Pin down the client's fingernails, okay? If you are filing the client's fingernails and you're not holding the client's fingernail firmly, the vibration of the file is going to irritate the client. It's going to feel weird. So make sure you don't do that. So what you're going to do is firmly hold the client's finger and make sure that you hold on to the fingernails, okay? See how I'm holding on to the fingernails right there, y'all? See, I'm not holding on just to her skin. I'm holding on to her fingernail so that it doesn't vibrate. You see how my thumb's on top of her nail? That is how you do it. That is how you prevent yourself from hurting the client. Okay? I see a lot of people not doing it right and it's irritating the clients, and that's not cool, y'all. So that is a good tip I hope you guys take from me. And so far, if you guys really like this video, give it in the comment, y'all. Say something in the comment. I love reading the comment. I just love hearing what y'all have to think about the industry, how you feel about Coffin Shape. Do you do a lot of Coffin Shape throughout the day? What other shape's your favorite? Let me know in the comment, y'all. Let's connect. Let's make that, hit that like button real quick. And anything that I'm using, files, pumice stones, buffers, monomers, is all in the link in the description, y'all. So anyways, let's go ahead and do the electric file now. So after I use the hand file, the shape is good, right? But let me tell you why the electric file is important. The electric file is going to make the shape looks nice and crisp. What I love about the electric file is that it's able to make the nail stand out. You can use the hand file. You can apply the acrylic as nice as you can, but the acrylic cannot be nice without the electric file, because that electric file is going to go ahead and clean around the cuticles. It's going to make sure that it's got to make this acrylic nice and smooth on top. You're able to even build an apex with the electric file. So you see, electric file is a big part of creating a beautiful shape. And this is why I highly recommend people really getting good at the electric file. And if you are not sure how to use the electric file, look at my technique once again. Look how I am holding the client's hand. This time I am using my right hand. So if you guys been watching my video, you guys will notice that I use my left and my right hand. My left hand I use to do acrylic application, and I use that for the hand file, and I use that to polish. But when it comes to my right hand, it's where I got the machine running in my right hand. Accuracy at its best, yo. Using two hands can't beat that. So as I am cleaning, I'm holding the client's hand. I am putting my ring finger and my pinky finger touching each other. You see that? So when I am doing that, it's called stability. That's how you get stability, y'all. Okay? So when you have stability, make sure you have full control of the machine. Make sure you really not flushing into the natural nails. I see a lot of nail tech using the machine and they go too hard and they create this called ring of fire. You don't want that ring of fire. That ring of fire is actually very painful, and it does leave very bad damage on the natural nails once you remove the acrylic. So prevent yourself from doing that so that you don't hurt the clients and you don't damage the client's nails. As you notice, everything I teach y'all, it always comes down to how the client feel. Why? Is because as a nail technician, customer service is one of the most important things. I don't care what you say. You can be the best nail tech, but if you act up, you act wrong, no client's gonna want to be and support your ass. Okay, that's the truth. Okay, this industry is all about networking, and you got to network with your client. You got to take your clients to another level of where they feel special. You got to take your clients to another level where they feel like they were spending money on you. You see what I'm saying? That is why it is important that we treat our clients very good. And that is why everything I teach you, in starting with the shaping, starting the acrylic application, and starts with how you prep, all of that comes down to good customer service. Because when you do a good job for them, that is when they appreciate you. Okay, this is how you build a clientele. You don't build clientele because you're good. You build clientele because you connect. That's how you should think. Now, after I buffer nails everything, let's do the French. Now, if you guys ever done the French, I know you guys probably seen a lot of tutorial videos out there, different way to do it. Look, I've done it all. This is one of my favorite way. I don't give a damn what y'all say. What I do is, first, I'm going to go ahead and paint the French. I don't care about the smile yet. I'm just going to give it a light smile right now, because right now my main focus is just to get that tip nice and filled up. Okay, now, after I got all the tips filled up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the line brush, and I'm going to go ahead and stretch the smile as I wish. Okay, so when I am doing a French, how do you know what is a perfect smile and what is not a perfect smile? Well, first of all, that's really up to the client, because the clients make a decision how they want the smile. But you as a nail tech, you should also have an eye to determine the length of the nails and what kind of smile will look good on the nails. So there's different way to do it. Okay, so as you can see, I am connecting the line using a line brush, and that's how I do my French. It is super easy because all the front tips is filled up. You just have to connect the dots and the line. If you want to drag the line up higher, you just drag the line up higher. Y'all, nobody's going to stop you from dragging the line up high. But that's how I do it. It is so easy. Yes, it still takes time. I am going to break it down to you. What is a new style French versus an old style French? Back in the day, an old style French is where people just put on the tips. Okay, so trust me, if y'all ever see those, I don't think you know, people use the white tip anymore, because I don't even use the white tip, because now I just paint all my tips. But let me tell y'all something. Nowadays, all the clients are surprised the moment you say a French is $15 plus, because those clients right there, those are the old school clients who are used to nail tech putting on the tips. Okay, back in the day, you want a French, we put on the white tip, we charge you $5 more. Even if we paint your French, it's still $5 more. But why is it $15 now? It's because back in the day, the French was a simple French, right? And now you use the acetone brush and you got to clean around the line. But that only work for regular polish, because if you do gel polish and you trying to clean the brush with the acetone line, the line is not clean. The line gets kind of fade away. So now, in order to do a French, you gotta draw it in. And the thing about drawing in a French is that you get to draw the perfect size French that match with the length of the nail. If you use the white tip like back in the day, you only get the length that you get on that tip. You cut them down, it looks like natural French. But if you want a long nail, you're gonna have to thick those white. That's where the hoochie mama comes in, because the hoochie mama be like, yeah, give me them long nail with the white French. I want my white extra white. Boy, they be walking out there, all you see is like a big old white tip with a little bit nail beds and everything. For real. But that was the thing, y'all. Okay, so that is why clients should not complain about French being what, $15, because I'm telling y'all, it is hard to do a French. This French right here probably took me a good 20 to 30 minutes, y'all. For real. How am I charging y'all $5 more for me to put in another 30 minutes of work? That's not right. That's not right. It makes no sense. That is why we have to charge y'all ass $15, because it takes time. And if y'all want your friends to be all even and everything, it takes more time. And if y'all the one who like to talk and touch your phone, touch your purse, y'all, we need to charge you more for that too, because it's a lot of work, y'all. We be stressing out and everything. Okay? So I'm telling y'all, French is money making right now. It's trending, it's hot. And of course, I ended with some beautiful outlines, y'all. But hey, I'm telling y'all, this set was beautiful. The clown was love it. She is graduating from college. Congratulations. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I really do. Give me a thumbs up and really share this video, y'all. Get this video to get a lot of views, and really leave it in the comment what I can help you with and how I can help you in the future. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful